Well, good afternoon. I'm really glad to be here with my friend Oscar. I want to talk about how to get information about COVID-19 in your language. And I remember that when I was living in foreign countries, whenever there was some sort of concern, newsworthy event, it was hard for me to get accurate information. In fact, in some places, I remember once when something was published in English and the continuation of it was published in Russian. And so I got incomplete information about something. But, you know, immigrants and internationals who've come here, they need to be able to take care of themselves. And I know that there's a lot of politics out there. We're not going to talk about politics today. We're not going to talk about the ethics of whether a government here or in another country should be providing information in the laws of every language that's represented. But we do know that for the public interest and for public safety, the more people who are informed, the better it is for our society. And that's so important. So my guest today is Oscar Contreras, radio host at Radio Poder, WBTK 1380 AM. We've advertised on your station before, and we've used your station to do Radio ESL. It was actually this time last year. And you are also my nephew-in-law. And so I'm proud to know you.
Uncle-in-law. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me something about yourself. Tell my viewers about yourself, where you were born and what it was like to come to America and how your family adjusted.
Yes, sure. So my dad immigrated to the United States in the 80s, in the 80s.
Okay.
So he stayed in farming. He was a farmer in Madison County in Virginia.
Okay.
And so at the age of 3, I was 3 years old when he left and immigrated.
Okay.
And by the age of 12, we were ready to join him and come together as a family again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it took around 10 years for us to be together. So that was back in 1995 when we moved in. It was my mom, my brother, and my 2 sisters. Later, a couple months later, my mom got pregnant with twins.
Oh.
They came together, and now the family grew.
Wow.
And so now I have two twin sisters that were born here in the United States.
Okay, great. So how was it for your family to adjust? You were 12. Did you speak English already by chance?
No, nothing. Yeah, my older brother did take English. He was able to understand a lot. Also, my other sister, but no, I didn't know. I didn't speak any. I didn't speak anything.
Wow, you have done so well.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
No, I know I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of the story of your father and your family coming here. Now, I was wondering, I know we're in a crisis right now, but in the past, what were the kinds of times and situations when a lack of pertinent news information in Spanish made it difficult for you or for your family?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. I don't really remember anything particularly for us as a family, but when I get out of high school,
yes,
I was offered a job, an internship in a social service office, and it was kind of transitioning from high school to college. And once I started community college, I actually took that internship, and one of the things that they asked me to do was to create a one-stop resource for Spanish speakers in my town.
okay,
And so I started to look for information in Spanish about different resources. It was literally like a couple folders I was able to find of information.
wow.
So I was actually looking for it and I couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I realized, how little information people were getting. So it's basically just survive as you go. You just go to work,
Mm-hmm.
go back home, and go to the same place. Everything, you can't you can't go it farther from where you are comfortable, as an immigrant. Unless you get more information, you can move on and you can do more things. But other than that, you kind of stay where you feel comfortable. I think probably that happened to you when were in a different country. You're like, this is where I know, that store, I don't know, this place, I don't know. So yes, that's where I learned that there is a lack of information for other communities. Yes.
And I think that my perspective of being a Richmonder who would leave the area and come back, leave the area and come back, I began to see more and more Spanish around me. I think the first place I can remember is seeing Spanish options on an ATM machine, and then driving to Southside and seeing billboards in Spanish. And of course, we have Latino markets and restaurants and such. And there is such a boom, but I think it would be wrong for us to assume that that Spanish speakers and of course Spanish is the next language in Richmond, but there are other languages as well. But it would be wrong for me to assume that Spanish speakers have everything at their disposal that they need for this crisis.
Because aside from having, let's say, the resource in Spanish or the information in Spanish, there's other components that go with it. Okay. So is the trust.
Okay.
And you can have the information, you can have the service, but you don't have the trust of the community. So the people don't get it. Or you have the information, you have the people, you have the resource, but then you don't know how to get the information to that community. So you don't have those channels. So there's a lot more things than just having something. Because I remember when I was back in the day when I was looking for that information, I would find stuff that was in Spanish, but the Spanish was really bad. It was I couldn't understand what the Spanish was trying to say.
And I translated it probably.
Exactly. and if you understand what it says and it's inviting you to go to this place to get the service, well, the information is in Spanish, but when you get there for the service, there's no one there to serve you in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
So then there's different levels of how people get that information. Okay. And so it's not just having something translated or not just having someone that speaks Spanish in your department. It really is very complex. In what your example of having Spanish in like the ATMs or the businesses, like the big stores, they have information in Spanish, the big stores, but it's all economic. It's all about money. Right. People that make money with communities, they know how to communicate with them.
Yeah.
But to be able to help them and provide services to help them move forward, those are the ones that have trouble, communicating all the information. But telling you how much it is and how to pay for it is in Spanish. So.
Wow, yeah. Well, now you as a radio host, you interact with the public in a way that a lot of people don't interact. I mean, I guess it's mainly by people calling the radio station. You probably have other opportunities too.
Texting, WhatsApp, Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, so people are communicating with you because, well, I think it's because they trust you. Is that what you think too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's not, it's they trust the station. They trust what the station has been doing for over 13 years.
Okay.
Because it's been work. I mean, not only earning their trust, but also earning the trust of the organization that want to reach out to them. Mm-hmm. So being that bridge, that now we get all this information and then we can pass it on.
Yeah.
But still, people sometimes come to us and they say, we want to pass this information. And we say, well, the way you're sharing that information really doesn't translate. Mm-hmm. Really, it's not reaching out. So we also try to help them then doing it in the right way, or what exactly are you trying to say, Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a trust, definitely. And they ask questions. They say, is this happening? Is this real? I heard this.
Mm.
from this place or from this friend, and we tell them yes or no, or let me find out, you know.
Yeah. And that's been your role for a long time, not just during the crisis.
Yeah, and now more than ever. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Now, do you have any other roles in the community, in the Latino community, for example, or any other roles that you find yourself in uh, through the radio station?
Well, yes, it's mainly through the radio. I try to do everything through the radio station, which is very flexible in the way of even putting together events,
Hmm.
you know, that serve the community. Like we've done job fairs,
Okay.
things like that, because we see the need and we
Hmm.
don't see a lot of that happening. So we do bilingual job fairs that serve the bilingual community and the need. Also, let's say for right now, people come to us and say, "Hey, we're planning to do this event, or we're planning to do this food drive. What do you think?" So they ask us, you know,
Hmm.
what do you think the people are going to respond to this? And so we try to also guide them
Okay.
and things like that, planning events and planning connections. And we do when back when we were able to gather together, we used to have lunches with community leaders, and we used to connect them and so they can work together. So yeah, we do a lot more than just you know, going on and sharing things.
And I know you've sent me some information from time to time over the last couple of years since I've been back here in Richmond to keep me apprised of what's going on. And we've seen each other at different events. And
Yeah, true,
so
true,
I appreciate that. You know, it's always nice to know somebody who's in the know of what's going on. Now, what is the Commonwealth of Virginia doing to communicate about the virus, about the orders and the crisis and that sort of thing?
so what I've seen is that
Oh, and I mean in Spanish, of course.
yes. Well, in any, I think what
And
what
other
I
languages too.
yes, what I've seen is that they are doing they're really trying, and
Mhm.
they're really doing things, and they like right now, I know that the governor has someone that speaks Spanish,
Okay.
and he's a director of legislation,
Mhm.
Marvin Figueroa, and we have contact with him. So
Good.
anything that's related to any executive order that is made or anything like that, we can call directly to him, and he can explain it to us. What does this mean? They're trying to get information in Spanish as fast as they can. So
Good.
they're doing well. I think they're doing really good. Also, Richmond and Chester, and Richmond and Henrico, their um, their health, the Department of Health communications person is a Latino,
Okay.
Fernando Rodriguez. He just started a month ago, and he's already talking to us on the radio. And he invited a nurse, a Spanish-speaking nurse, and we're talking about the virus and answering questions. So they're doing good. That's I'm very happy about this our state in that aspect.
So this is good then for Spanish speakers. There are a lot of opportunities to hear what is specifically important to hear from the Commonwealth of Virginia's perspective. I went online looking for different resources in different languages that I know are represented by our ESL, and I didn't necessarily find those languages in Virginia yet. That doesn't mean they're not there, because it all just depends on how you Google something.
Yeah.
But I have found that some other states like Wisconsin, Massachusetts, they had a lot of really good information. Of course, it was about social distancing. It was the general things,
General information.
but that's good that at least that's available and that's helpful. And do you know if there are any other languages that the Commonwealth of Virginia is trying to reach out
Yes,
to?
yes, they are. This is, I think this is where 1380 has done a good job in and also being a place where they can bring that information
Hmm.
and trust that we're gonna disseminate that information. Now, I don't know if they have the same thing in other communities. If they
Hmm.
have information in Arabic, or they have information in Korean or any other language, I don't know if they have a place where they can go and say, "Here's the information. Can you please, move it around?" And that's where I don't know if they have that. So in the position that we have, if they come to us, we'll make sure that we get the word out.
Okay.
Like if we didn't exist as a station, like I don't know how the information will be disseminated in this area. I don't know, because if I see around, I don't see the information in the way that I see it in 1380.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those doctors that come in, those politicians that come in, they come to 1380 to give that information. So aside from us, I don't know how the information is being shared, other than going to their websites and looking for the information, which is again the trust and not knowing. You know, an immigrant doesn't know to go to a website and look for the information.
Right.
You know, we don't do that.
Okay.
You know, we hear it from a friend or from someone you trust, which, you know, 1380 is a place they trust.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we conclude this interview?
Yes, and talking about other languages.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a resource for Richmond, Chesterfield, and Henrico. So there are offices created in those three counties, and their job is to connect communities, not just Spanish speakers, but any other language, to what they need. So this is part of what they have to do. And again, you know, shows, you know, your interview and you putting it out there is going to let a lot of these people know that there is help.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise they won't find out.
Right.
So in Chesterfield, we have Juan Santa Coloma, and you can call him at 796-7085.
How do you spell his name?
Santa, Santa, Coloma, Coloma.
Okay. Juan Santa Coloma.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's Chesterfield.
That's Chesterfield, and his job is to connect all multicultural communities to the information the county is providing. Okay. So you call him up, and he'll try to connect you with the right information. 796-7085.
Got it.
Then we have in the city of Richmond, we have Carla Ramos, which is the office of multicultural affairs, really, because is many other people that work there. So the office of multicultural affairs. And they have a Facebook page, and they have they're helping translating the information mainly in Spanish, but they're also doing other languages. Okay. And that's for the city of Richmond. It's 646-0145. 646-0145.
Caroline Ramos.
Carla Ramos, but it's a big office, so basically anyone.
Okay.
And then we have Reina Van from Henrico. This is a fairly new position, and her job is to communicate with other communities, which includes everyone else. So Reina Van. Reina, Raina, and Van, Vann.
Okay.
Yes, and she's from Henrico, and her phone number is 501-5844. 501-5844.
Excellent.
So that's three people that, if they get calls from one certain community, they know that they're going to have to find resources for them. So, you know, that's how the resources. Can you help me out with that one? I just messed up. Resources, there you go, are formed by asking for them.
Yeah.
So if you ask for them, they don't create them. So
great. Oscar, thank you so much. You are a great resource too, and I'm very glad that I'm part of your family, and I have felt so welcomed by you all. God bless you. No, I was going to say it in Russian, but
that's fine. But I don't speak English that much. I've been speaking Spanish because I work in a Latino radio station, so this is a lot of English. So
yeah.
Next time we'll do it in Spanish because you speak Spanish, so that we can do it in Spanish.
Ooh, funny. All right. Now your face actually froze. I don't know if mine froze on
Yours
yours.
is frozen here.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So I'm
But
not
it froze
sure.
with a big smile. I don't know how mine froze. So
Yeah, the recording will be on my computer. So it was okay. You were kind of looking like this.
okay.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day. Say hi
Thank
to
you.
Rachel and the kids.
I will. God bless.
You too. Bye bye.